ज्ञानशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतसक्तसुदीननरम् सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 2nd chapter. Yesterday we heard Yamaraj as a small boy is continuing to give his instructions to the wives of Suyagya, who was killed in the battlefield. These wives, they were crying in deep disdain, great grief, and Yamaraj had come as a small boy to instruct them. He told how Atma is separate from the body. The body is made out of the 5 material elements: mind, intelligence and false ego. This comprises the subtle body. The subtle body and the gross body are different from the mind. From Atma. Atma is separate from it. And it is by one's own karma, that is the performance of various activities of the mind and the body, that is binding a living entity from one body to the other. Therefore, by the strength of Atma, means by performance of devotion, one can get delivered from this bondage. Otherwise, one will be remaining in the material world, birth after birth, life after life. Now, yesterday I got a question from one devotee that how come Atma, which is superior to mind and the subtle body, be influenced by the mind? The power of the Atma is superior. How can that Atma be influenced, or how can mind overpower Atma? In other words, the question is like, what is the relation between the body, the mind, and Atma? The thing is, Swarupete Shavar Golokete Sthiti. By our Swarupa, by our actual identity, we all belong to Goloka. We all belong to the platform of Supreme Lord, that is Golok Dham, by our true identity. But Krishna Bhuli Sei Jeev Anadi Bahirmukh. But because of our forgetfulness of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, ignorance has come. That ignorance is nothing but forgetfulness of the Lord, or in another word, aversion to Supreme Lord. Because of our aversion to Supreme Lord, we have been sent to this material world. Now, in this material world, when we come, we need to accept material body, material mind, material intelligence. All these, we are subject to the acceptance of all these things in this material world. When a living entity is hurled down into this material world, Atma, the nature of Atma or the intrinsic property of Atma has been forgotten by us, and that is the very reason we are here, because of which a living entity has to accept mind, the gross body and the subtle body. Now, the subtle body and the gross body cannot influence Atma because they are matter. Indriyani parani ahu indriyebhyo paro manah manasastu parabuddhi buddhistu para sah. So, indriyani parani ahu, whatever are the objects of this material world, superior to them are the sense organs. There are various objects of enjoyment. The sense organs are superior to the objects of sense enjoyment because sense organs are enjoying them, therefore they are superior. These objects cannot enjoy sense organs, but the sense organs are enjoying them, therefore they are superior. Indriyebhyo paro manaha, above the sense organs is the mind, because mind is the one that activates the sense organs to enjoy, that dictates. Therefore, mind is controller of the sense organs, therefore he is superior to, mind is superior to the sense organs. Manasastu parabuddhi, but intelligence is superior to the mind. If one is, the intelligence of where one can get sense enjoyment, where one can get, trouble, this intelligence is telling. Mind wants to enjoy, but the direction is given by intelligence. Therefore, intelligence is superior to the mind. Buddhistu para sa. Sa means Atma. But above intelligence is Atma. Why Atma is above intelligence? Because if the Atma is not present, there is no intelligence, there is no mind, there is nothing. Therefore, Atma is superior to all these objects. But the interaction of the living entity in this material world is happening through mind. Mind is the principle that makes a living entity interact with anything or anyone. So, when we have forgotten Krishna and our intelligence is only directing us towards sense enjoyment, then the mind interacts with the matter and derives mundane pleasures out of it. Now, Atma is here just, present but in a dormant state. The consciousness of the living entity is present in a dormant state. The actual nature of Atma, that is Krishna Bhakti, is sleeping. Therefore, one has fallen victim to the dictations of the mind, and therefore, more and more engrossment or entanglement in this material world is happening. The mind becomes more and more, jada, more and more materialistic. So, the consciousness becomes more and more covered with this. Now, consciousness is always above the mind. Mind can never be above consciousness, because the subtler the object is, the more prominent that particular property is. Mind is subtle. Subtler than mind is intelligence. Subtler than intelligence is ego. And even subtler is Atma. So, that subtle thing is the one that is the most powerful thing. But yet, because the mind is engrossed in the material world from immemorial time, the covering of the consciousness with the material impressions has become strong and strong. It's like one layer over another, one layer over another is slowly getting, laid on top of the consciousness, and therefore the consciousness has become completely dormant in a full sleeping state. Therefore, even though Atma is powerful, Atma here means Atma's nature, that is Krishna Bhakti, devotion is much stronger, yet we have become forgetful of our true nature, and therefore we are bound by the dictations of the mind. Therefore, it is said that the mind is the cause of bondage, mind is also the cause of liberation. Atma cannot be called as bound. It is the mind that is, because Atma by itself is spiritual. The spiritual Atma can never be, interacting with the matter, can never be in, materialistic. Not interacting, can never be materialistic matter. But it is through the mind, it is the mind that is making us interact with this material world, and therefore it is again the mind that should be engaged in spirituality to come back to our regular consciousness. That is why it is said intelligence is superior to mind. Therefore, one has to get good intelligence in the company of the sadhus, in the company of the devotees, in the company of shastras. When that intelligence directs the mind in a proper way, then the dormant consciousness will again become awakened, and thus by the power of Atma, means by the power of devotion, we will get liberated again. The mind's desires, the mind's entanglements will slowly be removed when one gets good intelligence in the company of the sadhus or the devotees. So, a brief answer to the question is that consciousness or Atma is always superior to the mind. But because of our forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord, because of our aversion to the Lord, we have become entangled by the covering of Maya, mind, and thus we are enjoying or suffering and passing through various births. And at the time of liberation, means when Krishna Bhakti becomes awakened in the heart, or when the Atma is situated in its true identity, then that very mind will become spiritual by nature. Atma is spiritual, but the mind is material. But with intelligence, slowly that material mind can also get converted to spirit. Just like by the touch of a touchstone, philosopher's stone, a metal can be converted to gold. In a similar manner, by coming in contact with devotion, the mind, material mind, can also be transformed into spiritual and does engage in the service of the Supreme Lord eternally. So, mind is never superior to Atma, it's always inferior to Atma, but because of our forgetfulness, the consciousness of the mind, the nature of Atma, the consciousness of Atma is in a dormant state, it is not awakened. When it is fully awakened, then the mind cannot have its influence. Just like in the Ramayana, when Ramachandra and others, they came to Lanka to fight against Ravana, Kumbhakarna was in a sleeping state. He was fully asleep. Therefore, there was no terror to army of Lord Ramachandra. Of course, there was no terror even after, but I am just telling. As long as Kumbhakarna was sleeping, all the monkey army, they are doing so many things. But Ravana had put so many efforts to wake up Kumbhakarna, because if he is standing on his side, he knew that many of the enemy party will simply flee away or die. So in a similar manner, Atma is in a dormant state now, sleeping. But when it is awakened to Krishna Bhakti, then all the attacks of mind, all the attacks of the matter will be finished, because the natural propensity of Atma has awakened. So that is what is the analogy that one can give about Atma and the mind. Now we will continue from where we stopped. Forty-nine, na? 49. अथ नित्यम अनित्यम वा नेह शोचन्ति तद्विदः नान्यथा शक्यते कर्तुं स्वभावः शोचतामिति। आत्मज्ञ व्यक्तिगण आत्मा के नित्य एवं देह के अनित्य विवेचना करिया शोकेर वशीभूत होन्ना। Those who have the knowledge of the self, they understand the self to be eternal and the body to be non-eternal. Therefore, they don't lament, because that which is eternal, there is no need to lament. That which is to die anyway, that which is temporary, there is no point in lamenting, isn't it? Ashocyan anvashocastvam. That which is not worth lamenting, hey Arjuna, you are lamenting for it. Gatasuna agatasumscha. Whatever will be gone, you don't have to lament for it. It will be gone anyway. Agatasumscha, that will never be gone, there is no point in lamenting for it. Means Atma is never finished. Therefore, why should we lament for it? That which will never be finished, you know that it's not finished. Like our son or our daughter is there with us for so many years. Suddenly he or she got married, wedded, or they got job elsewhere and they went outside our place or maybe outside our country. Will you cry that they are dead? They are dead, my son is dead, my daughter is dead. Will you cry like that? No. They have just changed place from the current location to another location. They have changed. They are not dead. They are living. So, that which is not dead, that which is eternally living, there is no lamentation for it. And that which will be anyway finished, you know that it is going to be finished, that is the body. So you don't have to lament for it. Just like that you purchased a small toy for the child. You purchased it for 40 rupees, 50 rupees. You know that, in 2 days the child will anyway break it. So why spend 500, 5,000 rupees for a toy? Just purchase 50 rupees toy. After 2 days it is broken. And will you lament, oh, I spent 50 rupees on this. You already knew this, that is going to happen. So your lamentation is not there. So that which will be anyway gone, there is no point in lamenting for it. And that which will never be gone, why should you lament for it? Therefore, Atmagya, those who have the knowledge of the self, they lament for none. Neither for the body nor for Atma. Kintu Sarupagyan Rahito Janaganer Shoka Karai Swabhav. But those who have no knowledge of the self, they do it. Yamaraj is telling to these wives, those who have knowledge of the self, they don't lament. And those who have no knowledge of the self, it is their nature. So what it indicates is that you have no knowledge of the self. If you are lamenting for your dead husband, he is right there in front of you. Why should you lament for him? But if you say, no, we are not lamenting for this person, but the person who was hearing and speaking, then the answer is, did you ever see such person who was actually hearing and speaking? If you have not seen, why are you lamenting for it? Of whom you have seen, he is lying there. Whom you have not seen, anyway you have not seen, why should you lament? So, therefore, those who are Atmagya, knowledge of the self, they will never lament. Huh?
We don't miss the body. We miss this association or the dealings that you have with like a mother or a son.
Yes, that is because of the attachment, right? Whatever relations we have here, the wives, they are crying because they lost their husband. Now, because they have attachment to the husband, they are not able to even let the husband be burnt, the body of the husband be burnt. Now, this is a gross, attachment to material relationships. And these material relationships have come because of our forgetfulness of the Lord. There are actual relationships with the Lord. We are in reality related with Supreme Lord. But because we have forgotten that relationship, we got these mundane relationships. And these relationships are temporary. This is what is being instructed repeatedly through various, lifetimes. We are experiencing. The Yamaraj had begun this instruction by saying that I am such a small boy. I have realized, I have seen that so many persons are taking birth and they are dying. And your experience should have been much more than what I have got. You have seen so many persons getting killed and so many persons dying, so many persons taking birth. Ahani ahani bhutani gacchanti amamandiram. At every second, every fraction of a second, so many persons are dying. Day and night. And they are going to the crematorium ground. Seshastirityam icchanti. But those who are living, they think that, oh, I want to live, I want to stay. Kim ascharya, what can be more surprising than this? What is more surprising than, this foolishness that, we are seeing everyone is dying, but I am preparing to live longer. There is no foolishness than this. There is nothing more surprising than this. So, yes, we are crying because we are losing this, we have lost the association. But that association we got only temporarily, because we have not aspired for the true relationship. We have got that. That which has come intermittently will also go. That which comes in between will also go in between. That which has come with us, that will also stay with us. We brought nothing, we take away nothing. मुट्ठी बांध दे आया जगत में, हाथ पसारे जाएगा. Did we bring anything? Did I bring my wife at the time of birth? Did I bring my husband when at the time of my birth? Did I bring my son at the time of birth? No. I have not got even my clothes with me when I took birth. Nothing. And again at the time of death, what will I take? I will take nothing. Because I have come with nothing, I will go with nothing. That's all. And intermittently, oh, this is my house, this is my car, this is my wife, this is my husband. That which has come in between, they will also live in between. That which has come with us, that will go with us. So, the thing is, because of the lack of self knowledge, lack of the knowledge of the self, this comes, lamentation. That is why he said here that Kintu Swarupa Gyan Rahita Janaganer Shok Karaik Svabhav. It is the nature of those persons who have no knowledge of the self to lament. That is their nature. Because he is telling Sutrang Tar Anyata Kora Jaina. It cannot be otherwise. It cannot be otherwise. Means those who have no knowledge of the self cannot stay without lamenting. They will lament. Because the thing is, knowledge is missing. When the knowledge is there, then we will be able to realize that this will anyway be gone. But in ignorance, we are crying, we are lamenting, we are weeping for that which is anyway not ours. That which is not anyway ours, we are crying because of our ignorance. Yes.
Proper understood, we are lamenting for Atma, which is inside, for the consciousness of.
No.
For whom?
If we have seen consciousness, why will we lament?
No, I mean, body, Srimad Bhagavatam, body is lost. The husband left body. The Atma left body. But wives are in illusion. They are lamenting for the body, not for the Atma. Or for what they are lamenting.
That is what he is told. Nobody will lament for Atma or for the body. There is no lamentation for Atma, there is no lamentation for body also. Because Atma is eternal. Why should you lament? Oh, he is dead, he is dead. No, he is not dead. He has gone from one place to another place. That's all.
That means they are lamenting for the body. Not for the.
They are lamenting because of ignorance. Not for the body. That's what he is telling. That for the body also there is no lamentation because it is anyway dead. If they are lamenting for the body is there right in front of them. Why should they lament for it? The body is there in front of them. There is no point in lamenting. You take it, you keep it in your house, you enjoy with the body. But Atma, there is no point in lamenting because it's anyway not dead.
But they are missing what was inside them, no? They are missing this.
That they have not seen.
They are not here.
Therefore, no point in lamenting.
Still the energy is there. Still the attachment is there.
Yes, that is ignorance.
Yes, I mean.
That's what he is telling, that because those who are situated on the self, they don't lament. Otherwise, those who are ignorant, they will lament. It is their nature to lament. That's all, because ignorance. In ignorance, people lament. Lubdhako vipine kaschit pakshinam nirmito astakah vitatya jalam vidadhe tatra tatra pralobhayan. Parameshwar kartrik pakshi diger antaka रूपे प्रेरित व्याध बनेर जेखाने जेखाने पक्षी देखितो से स्थाने जाल विस्तार पूर्वक ताहादिके मांसादीर प्रलोभन प्रदान करिया धृत करितो. So now an illustration is being given. With an example it is being, explained to the wives of Suyagya that how one should not lament for the body. One should not lament for mundane relations. And how this ignorance is dangerous, is destructive. It's not only dangerous, it's destructive. is being explained with an example. There was one hunter. This hunter was Parameshwara Kartrik Pakhi Diger Antak Rupe Prerita. He is just like, inspired by Supreme Lord to kill the birds. Why it is told like this is, nobody is the cause. Others can become only instrumental, but not the cause. Cause is Supreme Lord. Therefore, by the will of providence or by the influence of time, by the influence of the Lord, a hunter used to, catch hold of the birds, kill the birds. And how he would do is, he would, spread the net and he would attract the birds with some, eatables. He just puts the eatables on nearby the net, and when they come to eat, immediately they are trapped. So there was a hunter who would do this by the inspiration of the Lord. শোক করা স্বভাব হইলে উহা অনর্থ আনয়ন করে, এই বিষয়ে একটি ইতিহাস বলিতেছেন লুব্ধক ইত্যাদি দ্বারা. If previously, in the previous verse it is told that those who are situated on the self, those who have knowledge of the self, they don't lament. Otherwise, means those who have no knowledge of the self, it is their nature to lament, and it cannot be otherwise. Now, what is the end result of those who lament is being explained through an example. What is the end result of lamentation is being explained with an example. निर्मितः ईश्वर कर्तृक पक्षी गणेर अंतक बोलिते नाशक रूपे निर्दिष्ट कोनो व्याध. So there was one hunter who was, you can say, appointed by the Lord or inspired by the Lord to kill the birds. Now a person may just become an instrument. Somebody is, killing, or somebody is slapping, somebody is harming. That person is nothing but instrument, but the karana or the cause is Supreme Lord. Cause is Supreme Lord. Why does he want to harm someone? Why does he want to kill someone? We already heard Supreme Lord is just giving the fruits of what a person has performed. He is like a judge. He is sitting there to say, okay, the karma of this person is finished now. He has to be killed. Now, it could be in the form of a disease, it could come in the form of a murderer, it can come in the form of a doctor, or it can come in the form of medicine, or it can come also in the form of his own wife. Wife is thinking that, oh, let me give this, it will nourish his body, but it has become just the opposite and he is dead. Now later doctor might say, oh, did you give milk to him? Yes, I gave milk. Oh, because of that he could not digest, and she didn't want to kill him, she didn't intend to kill, but the end has to come there and it resulted that way. So others are just the instruments, but the Supreme Lord is inspiring the living entity and making a living entity instrumental in others' harm or death or whatever it is. And that also Supreme Lord is inspiring by the karma of that person. विदधे पक्षीगण के विशेष रूपे जाल विस्तार करिया धरिते छिल. And his duty was to catch hold of the birds by spreading the net. प्रलोभनम এই রূপ পাঠে আমিষ প্রবৃত্তি খাদ্যের দ্বারা তাহাদিগকে প্রলুব্ধ করিত এই অর্থ. And he used to give some food items by which he would catch hold of the birds, or he would trap the birds. कुलिंग मिथुनम तत्र विचरत समदृश्यत तयोः कुलिंगी सहसा लुब्धकेन प्रलोभिता। ওই ব্যাধ সেই বনে বিচরণ করিতে করিতে कंदभोजी कुलिंग संज्ञक पक्षी दंपति देखिते पाइल। So this hunter, when he was going in the forest to catch hold of the birds, he saw there are two birds, kulinga birds, male and female. They are having a very nice family and they are very, very happy, very blissful. Kandabhoji, they would live by eating roots, etc. So the Vyadha, when he was, or the hunter, when he was inside this forest, he immediately saw that these two Kulinga birds are there. সেই পক্ষী যুগলের মধ্যে পক্ষিনী ওই ব্যাধ কর্তৃক প্রলুব্ধ হইয়া জাল সূত্রে আবদ্ধ হইল। So he had put the net, and this female bird saw, oh, there are some nice eatables here. So she went to eat and she got trapped in the net. Sasajjata सिचस्तंत्र्याम महिष्यः कालयंत्रिता कुलिंगस्तां तथापन्नां निरीक्ष्य भृशदुःखितः स्नेहादकल्पः कृपणां पर्यदेवयत्। बालक रूपी जमक बोलिलेन, हे महिषीगण, कुलिंग स्वीय भार्या के विधिवशे वही प्रकार जालसूत्रे बंधन दशा ग्रस्ता ओ अत्यंत विपन्ना एवं कातरा निरीक्षण करिया अतिशय दुखित हईल ओ ताहार बंधन मोचन करिते असमर्थ हइया स्नेहवशत दीन भावे विलाप करिते लागिल। So Yamaraj, as a small boy, is instructing to these wives of Suyagya, O queens, thus seeing his wife trapped in the net of the hunter, and she was trying to get out of that entrapment, but she is unsuccessful. She is really fighting and struggling to come out. The husband bird is seeing this, that the wife is in deep trouble and she is in distress, extreme agony. By seeing this, the husband bird was lamenting, not able to help. He also is not in a position to help because he knew that he goes there, he will also be trapped. So what he could do is, neither could he rescue the female bird, nor could he see the distress of the female bird. So he was in such a lamentation by seeing this bird. Aho akaruno devah mriya karunaya vibuhu kripanang mamanu shochantya दीनया किंग करिष्यति। अहो विधि की निर्दय आमार ए स्त्री विपन्ना हइया सर्वतो भावे करुणा प्रकाश पूर्वक आमार जन्य शोक करितेछे, इहाके ग्रहण करिया ताहार की प्रयोजन सिद्ध हइबे। So immediately the husband bird is telling, oh, how merciless is the destiny, how merciless is the Lord or the Creator, that my wife is in deep trouble and she is looking at me with a very, with the eyes of expectation that I will protect her. She is in a very dino, very what do you say? What word should I use there? Hmm?
Desperation.
Desperation. No, she is very eagerly waiting that I will rescue her. I am not able to see her, face that is totally in pain, in distress, and karuna prakash purvak amar jana shok koriতেছেন, and she is she is crying for me. ইহাকে গ্রহণ করিয়া তাহার কি প্রয়োজন সিদ্ধ হইল? So what will the destiny, what will the creator attain by doing this? She is in great pain, she is not able to rescue herself, and she is looking at me with a very with the expectation that I am going to rescue. Very troublesome she is. What did the Lord, what did the Creator attain by keeping her in such a position? She is a helpless, bird. What did the Lord attain by trapping this helpless bird? In this manner he is lamenting. Kamang nayatu mang devaha kimardhanatmano hi me dinena jivata dukkhamanena विधुरायुषा निर्दय विधि यदि आमार अर्ध देह रूप भार्याकेই গ্রহণ করেন তবে আমাকেও গ্রহণ করুক. This destiny which is merciless, if this merciless destiny has taken half of me, that is, wife is like better half, they say, when the merciless God has taken half of my life, then let him take my life also. What is the use of my other half living? এই পত্নী বিহীন দুঃখ ভারাক্রান্ত অবশিষ্ট দেহার্থ লইয়া জীবিত থাকিয়া আর আমার কি লাভ হইবে? What is the use of me living without my better half? What is the use of me living? It is better he take my life also. So he was lamenting because of his attachment to the bird. These birds, as we already heard, they have associated after some, not immediately after their birth, they were wandering very nicely, but suddenly they got their friend or their mate, and now for few years of association, they got so much attachment to each other that now one cannot live without the other. In this material world, it is the case with all the living entities, not with the Kulinga birds or not with someone else. It is what is happening with everyone in this material world. So he is lamenting in this manner, my dear merciless God, why have you taken only half of me? Take the other half also, take me also. Let me be also be trapped and finished. In this manner he is lamenting. Okay, we will stop here, continue tomorrow. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. जय परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिदयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपा की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य आनंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. सुखदेव गोस्वामी एवं परीक्षित महाराज की जय. श्रीमद् भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.